Hello friends, welcome to this session. In this session, we shall discuss the features of Intel 8085 microprocessor, and we shall discuss also the functional pin diagram and the functions of pins on that chip. In the last session, we have seen that any microprocessor based system uh, microprocessor is connected to other sections of computer, that is memory part and IO interface, by means of address bus, data bus and control bus. Now we are going to study the internal structure of this microprocessor. What are the various pins on this chip? So microprocessor 8085 looks like this. See this. It is a 40 pin DIP chip. It means that it has 40 pins. So from this notch we count anti-clockwise 1 to 20 and from 21 to 40. So this is actually chip. It looks like this. As the pins are arranged in two lines, that's why it is called as DIP, dual inline package, and number of pins are 40. Okay, this chip operates on single 5-volt power supply. So at the pin number 20 we connect negative terminal of the source, and at pin number 40 we connect plus 5, and this IC becomes, or it is activated. Okay, then its other feature is that it is a 8-bit microprocessor. What does it mean 8-bit? In the sense, we have seen that every microprocessor has processor in it, that is arithmetic logic unit, where it processes on the number. So it performs operation at a time on 8-bit number. So 8-bit number is added to another 8-bit number, and that will produce the result in 8 bits. So at a time it can process on 8-bit, and that's why it is named as 8-bit microprocessor, or in short its data bus is of 8 line size. So it has 8 lines. So it takes the data in 8-bit format, it gives the data in 8-bit format, it processes the data in 8-bit format, and that's why it is called as 8-bit microprocessor. This size is very important because this matters, or this decides the speed of microprocessor, right? Nowadays we are using 16-bit microprocessor, 32-bit microprocessor and 64-bit microprocessor. Imagine at a time 64-bit number is added to another 64-bit number, and it processes that. That means it is very fast. It can process large amount of data in small time. Okay. The next feature is it has 16-bit address bus. We have seen that address bus means it carries the binary bits, and it can carry a maximum of 16 bits. So this bus may looks like this. You can see this. I have drawn all the 16 lines. See that this is AD0 line, AD1, AD2, AD3, AD4. So these are the 8 lines, and other 8 lines, A8 to A15. This total 16 line constitutes address bus. Now what is this address? As we have seen, microprocessor is connected to every other devices, memory and IO devices, and in memory and every memory location is identified by means of address. So this RAM, if you consider this as a memory, it has a several location 1 2 3 and hundred thousands of location, and each has unique address. Now the concept of address is like this. Try to understand. If I have one line, electronic line, a wire, on this wire I can give a low voltage 0 and I can give 1 voltage. So only two levels because we are using binary number system. So with one line you can have 0 as address and 1 as address. So with one line you can get two line addresses. Okay, with one line you get two addresses. So let us list here number of lines and addresses. Okay, if you have one line, on single line it can be low voltage, it can be high voltage. So how many addresses are possible? Address 0 and address 1. Now if I have two lines, on this type two lines I can have the address as 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, right? And how many possible combination? 4. So with two number of lines the number of addresses possible are 4. Understand? So with two level 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, so only two level here, 2 bits. So with 2 bits and 2 lines the 4 addresses can be created. With 3 lines, you can imagine, with 3 lines you have seen that from 0 0 0 combination to 1 1 1, and how many are they? 8. So with 3 lines maximum possible distinct combinations of zeros and ones will be 8. So what I am listing, with these many number of lines you are getting 8 addresses. Okay, now if you have 4 lines, with 4 lines from 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1, and you know that how many combinations possible here? You are still last. With 4 lines there are 16 combination possible. So see that how, as I am adding number of lines, and with that number of lines the distinct combinations of zeros and ones are here 16. Can you see any relation between number of lines and address it generated? Number of lines means address based bits. So with 1 bit you can have 2 addresses, with 2 bit you can have 4 addresses, with 3 bit you can 8 address, with 4 16, and so on. With 5 there will be 32. Is there any relation? So I can write this 2 as 2 raised to 1, this 4 as 2 raised to 2, this 8 as 2 raised to 3, this 16 as 2 raised to 4, this 32 as 2 raised to 5. It means that you can see sorry, with x number of lines we can get as many as 2 raised to x combinations, distinct combinations of ones and zeros, right? You understand? And now come back to the features of 8085. Just I said that it has 16-bit address bus. What does it mean? So with 16 lines, address lines, we get 2 raised to 16 combination, and this turn out to be 65,536, or 2 raised to 16. I can write this as 2 raised to 10 into 2 raised to 6. This 2 raised to 6 turn out to be 64, and this 2 raised to 10 is about 1024. So I can write 65,536 combination as 64 into 1024. So this is very close to 1000, and that's why we call it as K, 1K. And that's why we say that with 16 lines 64K combinations are possible, and that is nothing but its addressing capacity. So addressing capacity of any microprocessor depends on how many address lines it has. For 8085 it is a 16, and therefore we say that its addressing capacity is 64K. You understand? What does it exactly mean? That means it can give 65,536 distinct addresses, and that is its capacity. Okay, the next feature is about it has instruction set. We are going to study in next unit its instruction set, but it has 74 basic instructions. Instructions are nothing but operation codes. We have discussed it, and each instruction may have different combination. For example, if you have say move R1 comma R2, this is one standard instruction where these are the registers. So this using different register, its combinations are about 49 combinations. So this single instruction has 49 combination, and that's why we say that it has a 74 basic instruction and 246 of codes. So for every instruction, considering all the possibilities, it has total, you can say, all possible combination, that is 246. Now see that only 74 basic instruction and only maximum 246 of course microprocessor performs all the tasks required by computers. So this is very efficient set of instruction. Then about its speed, it can be operated, the maximum clock frequency is 3 megahertz. In last session we have seen that microprocessor based system has a common time base, and it operates on such a T states, right? It has an internal square wave oscillator. Each time period, each cycle, we call it as a T, 1T, 2T, 3T, and 4T, and so on. So this indicates 3 megahertz means such a 3 million. That means it generates such a 3 million states in 1 second. So that is its speed. So speed is expressed in terms of the frequency 3 megahertz, and this is the maximum value, right? So these are the, you can say, the important features of 8085 microprocessor, and it is used nowadays. It is not used, but it is used for the training purpose, and we call it as a generic microprocessor because once you understand working of a simple microprocessor, then you can understand the working of any other microprocessor. So it was used for some industrial control application. It was used for sometimes calculators and some instruments, for some video games, in toys, and a small computer system can be constructed using this microprocessor. So this is about its feature. Then next is let us look at its pin diagram. I have shown you microprocessor. This is the microprocessor, and its pinout diagram is like this. You can see these are the pins arranged: pin number 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 20, and then we have from 21 to 40. Okay, let us consider the functions of each pin in brief. You may not understand the functions of all the pins at the time, but I will try to explain few of them today. Let us consider pin number 1 and 2, X1 and X2. It is these two pins where we connect a quartz crystal. This chip has internal oscillator. Microprocessor has internal oscillator, which gives, just now we have seen, which gives a clock pulses. This is the oscillator, and in order to decide its frequency, we need to connect a quartz crystal. And you have studied somewhere in second year, oscillator's frequency can be decided by the quartz crystal. Suppose if I have a quartz crystal whose fundamental frequency is 6 megahertz, that means 6 million cycles in 1 second, and if such a crystal is connected to X1 and X2, this oscillator will operate at 6 megahertz, and internally it divides by 2. That gives the clock of 3 megahertz. So on microprocessor circuit on board, it has an oscillator and it divides by 2. So when I connect externally 6 megahertz crystal, you get 3 megahertz clock. So this is the purpose of these two pins. Then whatever clock is generated, that is used by the microprocessor, and again the same time base has to be used by every other device. And on this pin clock out, the clock pulses are available, and that is connected to every other device like RAM and ROM and IO interface, so that total system is synchronized. So this is the output pin from the microprocessor. Then we have address and data bus. Just now we have seen. Look at this pin number 12 to 19. 12 to 19. These are named as AD0, AD1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. These are 8 pins, and together with, from this, you see, this is a A9, this is A9, A10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these 8 and these 8 together works as address bus. Just now we have seen that this address bus. See, AD0 to AD7 and A8 to A15. Actually total these are 16 bit. Now in this 16 bit, on your left hand side we call this as a low order bus, least significant bus, and this as a high order bus. Right hand side 8 bits are least significant, and left hand side 8 bits are most significant. So we call this as a low order address bus and a high order address bus. So AD0 to AD7, this carries 8 bit, and A8 to A15 carries the 8 bit, together 16 bit. Now look at the names. Here we have mentioned A8 to A15 pure address bus, but here we are writing it as AD0, AD1, AD3, like that, AD7. So the word AD, it stands for address and data bus. The meaning is that low order 8 lines of this address bus is a multifunction. It is a multiplex. That means for half period it works as a total 16-bit address bus, and for lighter period it works as data bus. So sequence is like this. Initially microprocessor sends complete address 16-bit, then that address is latched, and then these 8 lines are made free for data transmission, and that's why the name is given address and data. So this is the multiplex. So this is the function of, you can say, address and data lines. Then we have ALE pin. Look here, pin number 30, address latch enable. So when microprocessor gives out address, it has to be locked to be used by the RAM memory. So this ALE signal goes high. When address is sent, it goes high. It becomes 1, and when it is 1, the sent address is latched to be used by the memory chip, because in next half cycle we want this bus to be used as a data bus. So for that purpose we use ALE. Then we have RD bar and WR bar. What does this bar means? This bar indicates that function happens when this pin is at low. When there is a bar, this function happens when this pin is low. Actually these two pins are output pins from the microprocessor. Suppose that microprocessor is reading data from memory, so it sends the address, it sends the ALE and makes this low. Low means read. It will read the content of some memory location, and that data will be accepted on the data line into the microprocessor. In the same way, this is for writing the memory. So address is sent, address latch enable signal is sent, and this goes low. Low means writing operation will happen. So data from the microprocessor will be written or stored into the memory chips. So this is the function of this WR bar and RD bar. And let us consider one more pin, that is the IOM bar. Here this pin is actually a control pin, and this indicates the functioning of microprocessor, status of microprocessor. You see the name IO stands for input output, and M stands for the memory, and a bar is on M. And just now I told that when there is a bar, for this operation this pin should be low, meaning if this is the pin, if this is a 1, so when IO M bar pin is 1 high, what does it indicate? That means microprocessor is reading or writing IO device, so it is IO operation. And on the same pin, if there is a 0, when IO M bar is 0, 0 means bar, so which operation will happen? The reading writing will be on memory chips. So this pin is used to indicate the type of operation microprocessor is undergoing, whether it is reading writing and whether it is with IO or M. So this helps to distinguish the whether address is sent for IO devices or whether the address is sent for memory devices. I think we should stop here. In next section we shall discuss the function of remaining pins. Okay, thank you so much for listening and viewing this video. Bye.